Hey, no worries.
About to record. So, welcome back to our Legacy Monthly here at Grey Ogre Games. I'm Alfred Poon, I'm your host, joined by Ben Huang.
Hi.
Yes, today we have Kelvin Hoon and Steven Villaraza.
Yeah,
It's
I think
round
it's the
three.
mirror.
Is the mirror?
It's as per Stonblade. I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I saw Steven play. Like, it's the difference. I think some of them play him the Tarak,
Right.
super greedy, and Kelvin I don't think plays him the Tarak more of a purist. Like
Right,
I am.
right.
Turn 1, Thoughtseize, turn 2, Stoneforge. Good clean magic.
Good clean magic. Okay.
Yeah,
Very fair.
Take
So,
apart your opponent's plan.
Good enough, fair enough for modern, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's legal in modern. Everyone thinks it's gonna be unbanned, but it's never been unbanned. Stoneforge Mystic.
Hey man, Jace has been unbanned.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So
I
you
saw-
see the Thoughtseize in the front of Kelvin's hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Steven's deck. Yep.
Oh, I see red.
Oh.
That's not red.
Kelvin choosing the
Kelvin
mulligan.
yeah.
Yeah. Presumably doesn't know what he's up against. Mulliganing pretty bad in this matchup. No phone to track life. You're right. Let me
Oh.
go fix that. Or
Okay.
do you want to go? I'll go fix that.
Okay, thanks, Ben. So Ben is gonna go get a phone. This is Calvin's gonna go for the mulligan. Not sure who's going first. Okay. Okay, so it looks like blue-white, Stoneblade probably, like what Ben said, or might be Miracles. Who knows? See some blue. Thoughtseize, yep, as per Stoneblade. So. He's got Livian top. That's cool. Like that. Alright, so free normal start. We're most likely going to see Kelvin Hoon blast off the Thoughtseize. We're going to take a look at Steven's hand to have a more clearer understanding of what he's playing. Kelvin Hoon most likely is on the Esper Stoneblade, right?
Yeah, he's definitely an Esper.
Right.
I saw him play to a draw.
Oh.
So I think this might not be the. This might be. Yeah.
I think
This could be the
Steven might
winner's
playing
bracket. Yeah.
Miracles.
Is he?
I don't know. He might be.
No. There we go.
Never
Yeah.
mind, it's Esper Stoneblade.
So this is gonna be Spell Pierce, presumably, or he's gonna brainstorm to hide
Oh,
this.
he's gonna hide some stuff into his
Yeah.
deck. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
So this matchup is really interesting. If you like watching people do,
Interactive things.
yeah, really, really interactive things. Quite different from our previous matchups,
Right.
you know, where people weren't doing anything.
Unfair stuff.
Yeah, like that Dredge game that we watched.
Yeah, that was pretty unfair, I guess.
Yeah, you think so?
But Nigel forced him to play fair, right?
Yeah.
I guess in the end, didn't actually matter that much.
In the end, doesn't even matter. Is that what you?
Anyone can see.
So Thoughtseize, yeah,
What do you think
exposing the better scout is pretty interesting. I know he pushed the Force of Will, which I don't actually like in this matchup. But taking the Snapcaster,
Snapcaster, okay.
yeah.
Alright.
So picking up his hand.
So
I
like
think
what
the top card of his library was Baleful Strix, so that's good.
so what cards do you think are like the game changers in this
Oh,
matchup?
Jace.
Like,
Jace for sure, and anybody who can stick a Stoneforge, I think that makes a
Ooh.
big difference.
Strix.
The thing about Stoneforge is that it, you know, obviously True Name Nemesis, but both decks have True Name Nemesis,
Right.
right? So True Name Nemesis comes down a turn earlier than Jace, so that's a strong play. Both players seem to love their birds as well as their basic lands.
They love playing with their birds a lot.
I don't care. I don't know if I would care to repeat that.
Island is gonna
So he's gonna play Ponder.
Okay.
Presumably because he can't play his own True Name, he's gonna play a Thoughtseize to check out if his opponent has a True Name.
Right.
Mirror Breakers, yeah. So I think Jace is great. Stoneforge
Yeah,
is
Jace
great.
and just
And game 1, there's not a lot of ways to get rid of an active True Name, so it really is a race to True Name.
Unfortunately, I don't think either player has
Yeah,
True Name on their
but
hands.
Steven does have him the Tarak, which is
Ooh, okay. I
you know
like that.
might be able to hit his opponent's Mirror Breaker or like great cards. He's gonna be super conservative and play this Thoughtseize first to see.
Okay,
Yeah, so there is a Stoneforge. The Stoneforge is great in this matchup because it replaces itself and gets you like a body,
Right.
the Battle Skull, right?
oh my god, I didn't recognize the Stoneforge.
But he takes the
takes the brainstorm.
he takes the brainstorm, so his opponent can't change the
Attack,
contents of his hand. With this interesting choice, because if you're Kelvin here, you go for brains. You go for Stoneforge. Yeah, you thought C's first. You clear the way. You
Okay.
can take. Yeah, from Acadian Mass. You can take the plow.
The plow, yeah, plow seems good. I mean, it's not going to be on the
Yeah,
Is there an argument for better skull here?
you can take the Battle Skull. You can take the plow. All of these are good. The Strix gives him a redraw,
Right.
but I think taking the plow lets you start. Oh, okay. So
Better
yeah,
skull.
he's going for a long game here. So he's gonna play the Stoneforge. He's gonna get a Battle Skull. He's gonna let Steven use his plow on the Stoneforge,
Right.
and then he's gonna go possibly use his plow. Steven might opt to just block it with the bird.
I think I would have been more partial to
Yeah.
the swords, taking the swords.
Yeah.
I would have liked like sticking on. I would have liked like keeping my Stoneforge alive. You know.
I think it's fine. I think keeping the Stoneforge, if you take the plow, there's a possibility you take Jite.
Right.
So he's gonna play the plow.
I guess this means that Kelvin like
Yeah.
has can play the Battle Skull from his hand either way.
I think Kelvin would have
eventually, right?
might have taken the plow if he didn't draw that fourth land, but because he drew Underground Sea for his turn, like he's on good clip to play his he just rips a true name.
That is a very good draw.
Yeah.
That is very good draw.
And yeah, wow. Okay, he has Ponder, so Ponder's gonna be a good place to start.
Look for stuff. Let's go. Good stuff.
What are you guys looking to? What you want to do for lunch? You coordinate with Joe because you guys have dietary restrictions.
I trust you to get me whatever you want.
You okay? What happened?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm okay.
you
want
alright?
me to replace it?
No, I'll do this.
Then next one you take a break.
Yeah.
All right. So now,
Yeah, Ponder is
Ponder.
looking for an answer. So all the cards that we thought we mentioned were good,
Oh,
like
Jace.
Jace and all this, they're
True.
not good anymore because of Trinity
True,
Nemesis.
yeah. I see
No, well,
another-
they're less good. They're less good.
I see another true name in the middle. Was that another true name in the middle?
Yeah.
Right.
So true names battling off against each other is pretty good for Kelvin because he does have the skull and Steven doesn't. Yeah, and the skull in this matchup is powerful. It does a better impersonation. It is better if you can invest the mana into it than the GDA after a
Right,
while.
Right.
But yeah, I think Kelvin's just deciding whether or not he wants to come
Oh,
into
he might
this
take
night.
the- He might take the.
Oh no, that's not.
Snapcaster?
Is that a true name or a Snapcaster? I don't think
Oh,
it's a
that's
true
not
name.
Snapcaster.
He's taking the fetch.
What's he taking? He's taking the Ponder.
It's a Ponder. Okay. So he's gonna play Strix. He's gonna draw the Snapcaster as the relevant card. He's gonna play another Ponder
Okay, go
to go deeper.
The next two cards,
We have to go deeper.
Jace and Land.
Jace, land, and I think another card.
Looks like Land.
Nothing he's snap keeping. Nothing that he'll snap keep. The good thing about this situation with Steven not having access to a Battle Skull is that Steven can't give his true name vigilance.
Right. And it's just a.
So there is a world where So Jace is a bad. I won't say it's bad, but Jace is never bad. But
was
Jace
True Name-
is
True Name is
a
just like a
liability.
2/2, right?
True 3-1.
Oh, the 3
Yeah,
one.
3-1.
Okay.
So so Steven's gonna fetch in response to the Strix,
Mhm.
or do he?
No,
do
he
like-
plays tricks, then he's gonna fetch.
Okay. Does he resolve the Strix trigger?
I think he on the stack. Then he
Oh, this is interesting
Wait,
land
wait,
fetching from Steven.
wait. Hold on. I'm not sure what's happening.
I don't think he can fetch that planes with a delta, so I'm just gonna go fix that.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters too much.
yeah, because he just played. He played the colors Umezawa's GT anyway, right? So pop may not be useful against Stoneblade.
Oh, that's a long time ago. Eh?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, but the GT in place of the stone of the
The Battle
Battle
Skull.
Skull, I think
Yeah.
that's still a bit of.
I know. I think Kelvin still has access to a Vindicate in his deck, so he can Vindicate. But his drawing the GTA and putting it into play makes it a lot harder.
Right.
It's a lot harder for him to interact.
Ooh, that's
Kelvin draws Jace for the turn. It's not too bad. He does get one brainstorm activation off of Jace.
Yeah, but he's been drawing so many cards. He's spending all his time drawing cards, but not actually developing the board, right?
Yeah, and this is why this matchup is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like in the old standard, one of the ways to beat your opponent's Jace was just to flood the board, right, with Squadron Hawks and
right.
Stoneforge
shit.
Mystics. Yeah. And Jace was good. It was important, but it wasn't the be all and all because they played cards like Consecrated Sphinx
Right.
and stuff like that. So here you have this similar problem, right? That Steven has 2 bombs on the table, one of which threatens to get, a huge amount of synergy. Once it equips, it starts, gaining counters and decimating your board.
Right.
Yeah. So like I expect Steven to be able to attack with the true name, keep his Strix back, into possibly a Jace, get the counters, kill the Strix, and then the Jace is under heavy threat next turn. But this is gonna be Better Skull.
Better Skull, okay.
Okay.
So is there a world where you this
It's interesting. I think
what's the Better Skull do in this
I think
situation?
it's to buy Kelvin time to use all the cards in his hand. Because
Right.
Kelvin's up on cards, up on the quality of his cards right now, right?
Right.
And so I think his thought process is that if he can, sort of be on parity with the true name.
Right.
But that firstly involves him. It's pretty bad though because if he just keeps this Strix home and attacks with the true name, then he gets the counters. He attacks with the Battle Skull once. The Baleful Strix trades for the token,
Right.
and then he can no longer equip, right? Because he has counters in his GTA and he can kill the Strix in response to the equip.
And this is going to trigger the GTA and give him 2 counters.
Yeah.
So now, Steven's going to leave his Strix back on defense. Are there any draws that Steven could draw to make this even more convincing? Like maybe a Better Skull or a Jace or like...
The Skull's in the graveyard already. Yeah.
Oh wait, how many skulls does this...
Wow, he he
Ooh.
draws Edict for the turn. Draws him for the turn.
Yeah, how many skulls does the deck play? 1?
1.
Oh, just 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
this
okay.
is bad. This is real bad. But
Ooh.
it draws a Liliana. Wow. Okay.
Plus four.
Okay.
That's pretty decent.
Wow, this is
I like
insane.
that.
Okay. So he can go up on the Strix.
The Strix.
He's gonna attack with the pair. Steven?
Gain 4.
Yeah. It's interesting. He can kill the Liliana next turn with the true name no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. And he can kill Liliana and kill the Strix as well,
Mhm.
right?
So Kelvin is drawing the true name.
He should kill Lily. And Brainstorm.
Yeah, this is Brainstorm.
I think he needs more like bot
Yeah,
stuff. He needs
I'd
more
say
stuff on
Steven's
the
drawn
board.
pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see he's brainstorming the 2 lands.
Ooh.
It's a swamp and an island. So he's gonna put them back. He has no fetch immediately. Did he put 2 cards back? Did we see that?
Did he put 2 cards? I saw him put like
He
some
should-
cards back. I'm not sure actually.
Yeah.
I saw him put 1 card back. Do you see it?
I saw him put 1 card back, but
Yeah. Hold on.
what do you take over?
Yeah, anyways, the Bellscar is going to attack in, and the
Wow.
Baleful is going to just trade with the Germ, right? So this is not bad because the Bellscar can still be equipped onto the Baleful Strix, which makes it like flying Battle Skull.
Flying Better Skull of Destruction.
Wait, what's else happening?
Right. Okay.
What's happening?
All right. So we're trying to figure this out.
Okay, so that's fine. So,
Yeah.
do you see him put 1 card back or 2 cards back?
I don't know. I couldn't see the screen.
Oh,
That's the unfortunate part, right? About
the
about the
feature match.
feature match, right? That it's always under scrutiny.
Yeah.
Number one, it's always under scrutiny, right? And we neither do we have like perfect information,
Right.
right? It's not always that we get to see what's happening. So I think he did put the 2 cards back on top. You know, it's like, was it in response to like Baleful Strix?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows, man?
Right.
But yeah, the Baleful Strix is
So
dead
Ben.
because of the.
Ben, what happened?
So there's no way to prove it. But I think he started the turn with 1. He started the turn. He's entered his draw step with 1 card, right?
Right.
And if you enter the draw step with 1 card, there's no way, no matter how you play Brainstorm or Baleful Strix, to end the turn with 2 cards. So
It started with
yeah, so I think
Okay, last hope is here.
I think he played the Brainstorm on his turn. He drew Strix land.
Right?
He puts back Swamp. And then he only puts back 1 card. He puts back the Swamp. He plays Island and he plays the Strix. So he drew the Swamp. And then the cards on top of his deck are fresh.
Ah.
So yeah. And because of that, he dug 1 card deeper to find that Liliana. And it's just, I don't know how to prove it.
Yeah.
And if Kelvin is okay with it, then I guess there's nothing I can do, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
that you always give the players benefit of doubt.
yeah. So I mean, like, this is special circumstances, right? It's one of the things that's interesting about it being played out on camera, is that they are getting special amounts of scrutiny, like, right?
Yeah.
That other players wouldn't, which is to say that if there are people who would unknowingly make mistakes or GRVs, game rule violations, or misrepresenting board states, all this kind of stuff can get caught. That's him, the Torah. Yeah. This game is slipping out of Kelvin's reach anyway. I don't think he would have won. So I don't think it matters too much. It's not something that's
Yeah.
integral.
the
And I think if
better-
it was integral, Kelvin would pay a lot more attention
Right.
to the number of cards his opponent had in hand.
Yeah, I don't think the Battle Skull and the Baleful Strix combo can beat like the
Yeah,
the
especially
twin
since
Nemesis
yeah,
into-
like the
what-
Baleful was
Jite.
dead anyway because of the Jite.
Right.
Yeah.
Tag.
Yeah, so you get. I think what you're referencing is the So I think he started. I thought my assumption was he started the turn with zero cards. He drew 1 card for his turn, and then he ends the turn with 2 cards in hand,
Right.
right? Which you can't do with cantrips, right?
Yes.
Each card only replaces itself. It doesn't
Yes.
draw you extra cards.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Right. And
But yeah,
Kelvin-
this is gonna be a
yeah,
game.
Yeah.
You can see how this is all permanent
a
based, right? This is
Very
all,
grindy game.
yeah, it's grindy, but it's you want to commit to permanent. Sometimes cards in hand don't matter as much.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the hymns are pretty good. They get to knock your opponent's like key permanents out of your opponent's hand
Yeah, it's random.
before
right?
they get the setup. Yeah, it's random too. So you play on turn 2, you hit all the lands, they can't play Magic anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
pretty
great.
good. It's great.
Yeah.
So what cards in the sideboard actually like break the mirror?
So you're looking for cards that add permanents to the board, obviously. And
Sure
you're looking to
tell.
take out your Force of Wills and stuff like that. And cards that can trade favorably with him to Torah
Right.
early on. They also have relevance later in the game. Like, Flusterstorm is not too bad. Flusterstorm is
Okay.
good, particularly because of Snapcaster Mage. And that's always going to be powered up because of that. So if you didn't have the full, if you had more true names, you brought them in. I don't think Kelvin has more true names. He does have Bitter Blossom though.
Yeah, Blue Blossom is pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah, Bitter Blossom is pretty good. Cards that interact with True Nemesis are pretty good. But those are like thinking defensively, right? Anything that breaks the mirror open, I don't think there's too much. If you
Well,
know
I
your
think
opponent is
Blossom might be
the mirror breaker, yeah, it could
Wait,
be.
who has it?
Yeah, he takes out his forces. Kelvin has.
Or does Steven not have it?
I'm not sure if Steven has it. Yeah.
Oh, hold on, someone said something. He put back only 1 card. Yeah. He
He
saw the
put-
replay.
Yeah, he saw the replay, he put back only 1 card. But I think it's something we can pursue after the game, once we have the benefit of the replay. But we
Yeah.
don't want to ruin we don't want to ruin the viewing experience for you all at home. If we were to stop this game in the middle of its proceedings.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Ben, is it possible to keep a lookout for the UMA Bitter Blossom playmat and go to Magic Fest?
Sure, yeah. I'll help you pick it up if I see one. Yeah. I think Kelvin also has another Liliana, the Last Hope. So
Right.
that's really, really good against everything but Stoneforge and True Name, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, the Liliana minus effect brings back the Stoneforge or like the Baleful Strix, right? The -2, the one that you mill to and then you return a creature.
Yeah. I mean, it's risky, but it's still pretty good at killing your opponent's Strixes, killing opposing
for sure,
Snapcasters,
Actually, what's
returning your dead True Names.
what's like the main purpose of Liliana? Is like Is it just to return your stuff?
this format or in general?
No, in this deck.
Oh, I think it's just a great value card, right? It's a card that when it comes into play, immediately trades for one of your opponent's one toughness guys,
Right.
or at some point it also it stays as a threat that your opponent has to answer when it gets to 7.
Right.
And when you need B, you can return True Name Nemesis, you can return Strixus, you can return your own Snapcasters, your own
Actually, you're
Stoneforges.
kind of right, man. The format is
This
heavily
matchup
this matchup
in
and the format in
particular.
general, I think, is like reliant on like
Permanence?
one toughness creatures.
Yeah, there's a lot of one toughness creatures. It's
So-
amazing against D&T
Yeah. So
if you can resolve it.
last hope comes pretty good. In that
Yeah.
regard.
It's really good. It's great against elves again if it becomes relevant. In fact, tapping out might not be the best thing.
Yes.
But yeah, it does a great number on a bunch of decks in this format. And it keeps your opponents Builder Blossoms in check if they play Builder Blossom and you play Liliana.
yeah, 3 damage a turn, man.
Yeah. And at some point you just, bring the zombie apocalypse and then he just dies.
Oh, this looks like
So
a very
Kelvin's
land-heavy hand.
hand,
Lots of lands.
and heavy, which is not too bad actually against a deck with hymns and stuff like that, right? So long as you have Brainstorm to protect the relevant cards.
Right.
And the benefit of keeping hands like this, your opponent doesn't know that you kept this kind of hand, right? So they're gonna go actively to thought seize you and stuff like that. He's gonna play Ponder on his turn to try and set up a turn 2 threat. So what you see experienced players do here is to set up the threats one card below the current card in a Ponder, so that they don't get their hands discarded by
okay.
thought seize and stuff like that. So if you're Kelvin, if you're Kelvin, or you're playing against Kelvin, you expect to put like say his Liliana, the last hope, the last card. It's the last card from Ponder.
Right. Oh, Ponder.
But Steven leading off against on Ponder, Island Ponder means that there's no expectation of thought seize here or any kind of discard.
Okay.
So it's pretty safe. Yeah. He
Ooh,
drew. Yeah.
Disenchant.
He tops the Disenchant. He's gonna play the Brainstorm here. Interesting choice to play the Brainstorm main phase. Presumably it's because he wants to
Fetch it off.
avoid getting flusterstormed by his opponent, and he needs to get rid of all those excess lands that we knew he had in his hand.
There we see Jace, one of the mirror breakers in this matchup
Yeah.
in his hand. So maybe his plan might be just to stall.
Oh, this
out.
is good. He drew a Thoughtseize off that Brainstorm, so now he's gonna be able to pick apart his opponent's hand. He's
Right.
not worried about him, but he might be worried about like opposing Stoneforge, or just playing the long game and aiming to take his opponent off something like True Name Nemesis in the later turns. You might see him get scrub land here, because if your answer to True Name is Council's Judgment, then the mana requirement is pretty intensive. But here getting Swarm, signaling that he does have in fact Liliana Last Hope somewhere in his hand or in his deck. Right? Because
him to Torak.
yeah, so he,
Take a him?
is that a him? No.
No, that's Brainstorm.
It's
Okay,
Brainstorm,
okay,
Disenchant, Ponder, and 4 lands. So I think you take the Brainstorm here.
okay.
Yep. And Kelvin
That's
agrees
fair,
with me.
that's fair.
Because the rest of the cards don't do anything drastically to change the texture of your hand. Oh, Steven
Oh, there's a
rips
Stoneforge
a
instead.
Stoneforge for
That's
his
pretty
turn, which is amazing. But no, chooses not
he's
to play
gonna
it.
play it.
Oh,
Wow,
interesting.
okay.
I would have played that Stoneforge in a heartbeat.
Do you think he's trying to like dodge the Liliana? But so far it's a 1-2, right?
It's a 1/2, yeah.
Yeah.
So what, he wants to find exactly Thoughtseize this turn to be able to interact with his opponent's hand. I kept the cards, so he's probably gonna... Yeah,
Oh, he's not
wow.
on the fetch.
He
Wow.
found Thoughtseize. Oh, wow.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good on Steven's part.
there's a Liliana.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Steven's pretty good at this game, man.
Yeah,
He's
right?
very talented.
But I think it's still okay for Kelvin, because he still gets to go Snapcaster Thoughtseize to clear the way for his Jace on turn 4.
Mhm.
And as we see, like having permanence in play is super important in this matchup.
Right. This.
But Kelvin drawing a complete dud for his turn, drawing Battle Skull. But I expect Kelvin to still go for it. Like, he's not the kind of guy to wait.
Yeah.
He's gonna make the play that has the highest chance of, like, gives him the highest chance of winning, right?
Yes.
He's not the guy who's gonna play
The
scared.
risk taker.
Yeah. I mean, I
balls-
won't say he's a risk taker.
The
He's-
balls deep guy.
yeah, he's always gonna make you have it.
So wait, does he have the 4th land? Yeah, he does.
He doesn't have a 4th land. That's a
Oh.
Disenchant that's in his hand. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna
Oh, no,
pass.
he's gonna
Oh,
pass.
okay. He's gonna wait for the. He's gonna looking for that 4th land with the Brainstorm end of turn.
I think that's okay, I guess.
That's not bad. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's
He
alright.
can hide his Jace from any
Yeah,
potential
for
discard
sure,
spells.
For sure. That's pretty good.
But see, that's interesting though, because he played around Flusterstorm by Brainstorming on his turn.
Stoneforge.
This is Stoneforge, and depending on what he gets to Stoneforge if Kelvin resolves his Jace, the Jace might end up bouncing the Stoneforge. Typically, you get Skull in this matchup because it gives you extra material.
Yeah, I get the skull. Are there you like get the swords in this matchup? Are there swords you have?
Yeah,
in the deck?
there are swords of fire and ice that are possibly in the sideboard. So he's gonna play Snapcaster. He's gonna
Snapcaster,
fetch. He's gonna brainstorm. Gonna look for that fourth land. If he finds that fourth land,
Chase time.
it's Jace time. If he doesn't find that fourth land, then it gets interesting. He does have the Battle Skull covered with Disenchant,
Ooh, yeah, okay. That's
which
true,
is interesting in this matchup, right? Because it makes things really, really
land? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's a land.
Two lands and a disenchant.
even better is that it's a land that doesn't have to fetch. So he has the option, if he so chooses, to draw any of the cards he wants to put back. Yeah, he's gonna choose to put the Disenchant back on top. Doesn't matter. He's gonna draw it this turn, but he's gonna be able to play that Jace.
Yeah, so I think Jace here is pretty good.
Yeah,
Steven
unless his opponent has spell pierce, but he knows his opponent's hand
Yeah,
pretty much, right?
He thought sees his hand already.
He
right?
touches his hand 2 turns ago,
Yeah.
so his opponent's hand is looks to be devoid. When he touched his opponent's hand, it was plow and ponder.
Right. I was gonna brainstorm.
Oh, he's gonna storm instead. Okay, because he has the skull covered with his disenchant, he's not so worried.
Right. Okay. We'll put some forests, some lands.
Yep. So Steven, unable to really favorably interact with this Jace. And if he leads off with Strix, this is gonna be this is problematic for
This
Steven.
feels like a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
When your opponent plays Jace and your only answer is to draw cards. Looking for more
Yeah.
answers.
And now he has to suspect. He knows his opponent has disenchant, right? Because he thought seized him.
Right.
So he has to believe that his opponent has floated this disenchant all this while, and that this skull can't be good enough in this matchup. So he's just gonna storm.
Kelvin Hoon's gonna
Yeah.
just destroy Steven with card advantage.
Yep. Kelvin Hoon putting 2 cards back, just like the card says. So I think he found another Stoneforge of his own, so he's gonna be able to play Stoneforge to shuffle. Oh, he's gonna hymn. All these people playing hymns in their 3 color decks
Yeah, man.
and like 6 basics. I'm like, this is greedy.
Legacy is a greedy format.
Yeah. You think so?
I think it's a format for greedy people.
Format for greed.
Yeah.
Greed is good.
I mean, you have such a strong mana base in like the dual lands and
Yep.
the fetches.
This Stoneforge makes a lot of sense
Ooh, better skull.
because it's a free shuffle, so you don't have to crack that fetch, and you still gotta leave Disenchant open for what you presume to be.
he's not gonna get a better
He's
skull.
not gonna get it. He's gonna get a sword
GT.
instead. I think if you get GD, you get sword, right? Sword of Fire and Ice if he has it.
Yeah.
So you must assume that he doesn't have a Sword of Fire and Ice.
Okay.
And if that's the case, which is huge, right? Because like Sword of Fire and Ice is the mirror breaker. It lets your guys punch through
Yeah,
Nemesis.
Pro is pretty good.
Yeah. So the greatest part about Disenchant here is that you can actually disenchant the Strix if need be.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the artifact creature.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
But
if
he has
your
to-
opponent goes like, oh, he's not even gonna put the skull into play.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Okay. Maybe he's waiting to put it on instant speed.
No, he had the Stoneforge active
Oh
last
wait,
turn.
no. Oh, even for Steven.
Yeah.
Did he forget?
No, I think he wants to play Skull without it being able to be disenchanted. But you're falling so far behind. You're falling way behind here.
They just play into it, right?
I think you have to play into it and let it die and then let it come back.
Yeah.
And then like find something else. Find another line of play. But maybe not. Maybe this is the way to go. He's just chipping away at this Jace. I think he can Fate Seal himself. Oh, he's just gonna brainstorm.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to fade seal. He just wants to go for the
Yeah.
brainstorms.
What's the play here though? He's gonna find a 6 land. This is problematic, eh?
Yeah, this is a bit of a problem for Steven.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Steven's winning this game. I think he's lost this game. He just doesn't know yet,
Yeah.
and that's I think the problem with the way he's like chosen to play.
So Strix.
Here's a tricks of his own. He's gonna draw. So now he has two disenchants in his hand.
Yeah.
He can actually force the action by attacking with the Snapcaster. Right. Presumably your opponent's not gonna. He's gonna fetch first. Heads up. Because if you don't want your opponent to be able to, in response to your fetch, put in the batters. Like do stuff.
Right.
Yeah, which I think you're gonna see happen here with Steven. Because if Steven goes to return the batter skull, he's gonna him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has to go for the batter skull here, right? If not, he's gonna get knocked out of the hand by the him.
So I think you play the Battle Skull here. You let it get disenchanted, but you force Kelvin to trade
Yeah.
some resources for
Well,
you.
now he doesn't get disenchanted. Kelvin can disenchant in response here. This is the great part of how Kelvin's done it, but Kelvin's not choosing to, because if he disenchants in response here and he bounces it back to his hand, he can still hit it with the him.
Right.
But he chose not to, so
6. But he get land and
disenchant. So Kelvin's artifacts and Kelvin's equipment are now clear. Kelvin is mindful of this. I think we just spoke about this in like the pregame where he said, he has to activate. He has to be careful of like stuff blowing up his batter skull.
yes.
He's not worried about it anyway, right? Because like he's not gonna be. His Strix is a pretty good trade for the batter skull. I think you take
Yeah, for sure.
trade your Strix for for life any day.
And you still have so much mistake on your.
Yeah, you have a Jace going. Every time that you have a Jace going, your opponent doesn't have a Jace going. Like you're pulling way ahead.
I think it's this common chess technique, right? When you're ahead, you just want to trade and accelerate the game.
Yeah.
So you can end the game faster.
Yep.
Something like this right now.
So here comes the Strix.
6 onto Jace.
And I think the only concern here for Kelvin has to be time. Like if he is to play a meaningful game 3, he needs to find a way to close this game out without taking too long. Steven's just trying to trade away to clear the path for that, to make the batter skull relevant, right?
Yeah, for sure. And he draws a. That's a Stoneforge mistake.
Yeah.
So I think you play the Stoneforge mistake
Yeah.
to get like a Battle Skull maybe?
Yeah, you can get whatever you want. You can Jace bounce the token this turn.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, you can Jace bounce the token this turn, and
That's
then you're so far ahead in terms of material that you can just go ahead. It's another him. That's a Bitter Blossom.
Ooh,
Okay.
That's it, man. I think this game's like.
Yeah,
Game's pretty gone.
it's close. Like
You think it's close?
I think
This game, Kelvin felt like he was in control since like
Yeah,
5 turns
yeah.
ago, right?
I think if he can connect with a GT, if Steve can connect with GT, that he's still in the game.
Right. Ooh, Ponder.
But I'm not sure if he's playing like he can connect with the GT. He's got 4 mana, right?
Yeah.
This is like Kelvin has 2 disenchants in his hand. Batter skull. Yeah, this Jace is just okay. So
He draws a sword.
Plow is decent, but it's not GT.
Yeah.
It's not getting him a hit. He's just breathing. He's just treading water right now. He's gonna get drowned pretty soon.
Okay, we're gonna see him put in the Battle Skull.
Put Batter skull to play. Steven's gonna go. Yeah, and that he does not care at all. Kelvin could care less about your creatures. Oh, he's attacking with the Batter skull. Okay. Sending the Batter skull at Jace.
Right, so
Yeah, so he's gonna lose 1. He's gonna brainstorm. This game is all but over.
why do you think he didn't like disenchant the Battle Skull?
Oh no, he wanted to get his own Batter skull to play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
okay, yeah.
At some point he can equip it to any of his creatures or just reset it with the Stoneforge.
Right.
It is dangerous if his opponent has a removal spell for his other Stoneforge.
Yeah.
But at which point, like, this vigilance fairy tokens are gonna be pretty nuts. He's gonna thought seize, clear the way, see his opponent has absolutely nothing.
Island.
Yeah.
Please show us some combo decks next round.
Some combo decks. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we
Rihanna
have,
would be
like,
great. Okay.
A lot
Okay.
of combo decks in the field.
Yeah. There's a couple of there's a mono black reanimator, there's a black red reanimator.
Dredge.
There's a storm deck I saw that Ilham drew against.
Oh.
There's
Wait,
Dredge. We saw Dredge, but Dredge not.
against Storm?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. He's pretty deliberate when he wants to be.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna fetch. This game still over. It's been over for like the past
Maybe Steven's trying
past
to, like,
15 minutes.
Steven's going for the Galaxy Brain method, where he's trying to, like, make the game last.
Time his opponent out.
Time his opponent out.
I don't know if he can time his opponent out here. So this is interesting. I believe that the clock is a major part of being a good Magic player. You need to know how to play quickly when you need to, slowly when you don't need to,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, right.
I believe these are all important things. We need to reset the stream as well. I believe these are all important things, but I think in Steven's situation, he stands to gain a lot more from a win. Both players stand to gain a lot more from a win. Yeah, and then,
Yeah,
right,
okay.
he conceded. Because he needs to have enough time to win this game 3.
Yeah, so most like, I think Kelvin won that, right?
Yeah, Kevin definitely won that.
Yeah.
Unless a meteor came down and hit him,
Oh,
much like
through the roof.
Pierre Canali in Pro Tour 2006. Yeah. So yeah, I think being a good Magic player is understanding, okay, when you get extra equity from dragging the game out, so you can see your opponent's cards, you know how you sideboard against you, you know what
for
cards he
sure,
has
for
and all that kind of stuff, and also conceding early so that you can have enough time to win the next 2 games, especially if your deck takes a while to win,
Yeah,
or if it's a matchup where the two of you are just gonna grind back and forth on each other.
yeah, this when you think of Legacy, you think of, like, fast combos, you know, that's the first thing comes to mind.
Oh yeah, on the swing.
Honest.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the kind of bad rep that Legacy gets, right?
Right,
It's in
because-
fact a very grindy format. It's fundamentally slower now than Modern because of
Yeah.
the existence of Force of
I
Will.
think so too, yeah. Okay. Oh, Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
Oh, Fluster
Flusterstorm.
Storm. Ooh, that's cool. I like that.
So this is not bad, but it's only trading one. It's trading 1 mana for 1 mana, right? Like you want Flusterstorm to do a little bit more, like trade for him to Torak, or trade for either 2 mana or 2 cards, like Force of Will.
I think I value the information.
The information, but the information is great, and that was gonna be my next point, is that there is a hidden value to Thoughtseize, right? Like knowing what your opponent has in his hand
yeah.
lets you plan out your games a
The
little
Git
bit.
Pro.
Yeah,
But-
the Git Pro effect.
Which is also not legal.
Legal in Modern or Legacy.
Or Legacy, yeah.
So this is Thoughtseize on Steven's part, and this is gonna play out
Oh,
very differently
okay,
because he has
this
his Thoughtseize.
That's too
But he has
missing.
redundancy, so this is
Yeah.
the advantage back to Kelvin.
This Thoughtseize is not really very.
Yeah, you see, Steven isn't on track to cast his True Name next turn,
Yeah, for sure, man.
so he's gonna take 1 Brainstorm.
You take the brainstorm, really?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Oh, he
Ooh,
rips
that is
True
very
Name.
That is good. I like that.
It's real good.
So you play the Stoneforge, you take Pascal, or you take the GT?
I think you could take. You probably take Jite here. If you take Jite, it gives away that you drew True Name though.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I think you don't care about that.
Yeah.
maybe?
Ah,
Right?
it's curious. I'd be interested as to what his thoughts are.
Oh, we'll find out.
Yeah, I think you take
Okay.
Battle Scout anyway.
So
The thing is, like you, if you get to play your True Name, it's great, and whatever you took would have been fine.
right.
If you don't get to take, if your opponent somehow knocks it out of your hand next turn, then at least you still have your Battle Scout. Yeah, Steven didn't draw a 3rd land to play his True Name. Suffering a little as a result.
Not very.
He's gonna find his 3rd land here. He's gonna play a 2nd Thoughtseize, so heads up play from Kelvin,
Ooh.
knowing that, oh yeah, well if my opponent has a 1, yeah, so Steven kind of forced into taking his opponent's True Name.
Wow. I wouldn't have done that. I would have waited for like a bit longer for that Thoughtseize, but
Oh yeah, but are you worried? Aren't you worried about
the
True Name?
True Name, it's
The
just
tr-
one draw though.
The True Name sub game. Yeah,
It's just one draw though.
that's true. That's true. You'll be worried about Jace too.
Yeah. Wow. That was a really
Heads
I-
up play. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So now Steven's gonna be able to play his own True Name.
Yeah. Does he have it?
He does have his own True Names.
Okay.
I do think that Kelvin has access to some amount of either Zealous Conscripts or Toxic
Zealous
Deluge.
Conscripts.
Oh, sorry, it's the Zealous Persecution.
Okay.
Yeah, is this true name?
Yeah, it is. We've not seen any Force of Wills in this.
Oh, they side out the Force of Wills in this matchup.
Oh, you do?
Partly because it's such.
Oh, it's grindy. So you don't
Yeah,
do
it's
for one
grindy.
yourself.
Yeah, you don't want two
Okay,
for one
okay.
yourself.
Right. Makes sense. Ooh, land. That's not a really good draw.
This is good. He's
Oh, no, just
shown a
fetch
lot of
land.
discipline with
Okay.
his brainstorm. So his discipline is paying off. He gets to push away lands that he doesn't want.
Okay. So he does have the Thoughtseize. Most likely going to fire it off here.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So this looks like a pretty
a
good.
bomb-filled hand from his
Yeah.
opponent's part.
You take. Actually, I think you take the Lily here, right?
I'm not sure about the Lily. Yeah. I don't think he can cast a Lily right now with the mana that he has in play. And I think Jace
Oh, yeah,
is
you can't, right,
yeah,
right.
I think Jace is your major concern because yeah,
Or maybe just an argument for Brainstorm, actually.
for Brainstorm there's no Brainstorm.
No, the one
Is that Brainstorm or is
yeah,
that
it's-
Snap?
it's
Is that Snapcaster or is that a
Brainstorm,
Brainstorm?
it's
It's Brainstorm? Oh, okay.
Brainstorm.
Yeah, I think you take the Jace.
Okay.
I think you take the Jace because like him drawing land Jace next turn is just terrible. But he's gonna take the Brainstorm and be conservative.
Oh, that's Snapcaster.
It's Snapcaster.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I like taking the Jace, but I won't fault Kelvin for taking the Snapcaster. Yeah.
Snapcaster is pretty good.
Yeah, Snapcaster gets Thoughtseize.
Or like Swords. Does he have Swords in his graveyard?
No swords in the graveyard. Thoughtseize picks apart Kelvin's hand like crazy. Yeah, but Kelvin's like, how am I gonna beat this true name now?
I mean, he can kind of race with the Metal Skull.
Yeah. But like long term, right? Like
yeah.
if he has no access to and taking the Snapcaster is percentage points if he has Diabolic Edict in his deck.
Right.
Because that means that he doesn't get to gonna get to protect it with a warm body. But yeah, he's taking the Jace. I think is the right play, because if he draws a fourth land, you have two things to answer now. Right now, all you have to do is just beat this the onboard True Nemesis.
Right. Okay, so he's gonna play a second Stoneforge.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a GT here.
If he has Sword of Fire and Ice, this is a great time to get Sword of Fire and Ice. So this
Doesn't
is
seem like he has it.
this is proof that he doesn't have Sword of Fire and Ice.
Yeah, for sure. Is there like no answer to True Nemesis actually in this matchup?
I'm not sure he plays Council's Judgment, so he might not
Oh,
have
yeah,
any answers at all. He might. I'm sure if he had, he would have brought it in something like
Yeah.
Deluge or
Okay.
so interesting choice, and I like this from I like the not taking the Snapcaster a little bit because it induces his opponent into playing Thoughtseize, thinking that he has a way to beat the true name. Right, so now currently, as the way it's set up, like a Zealous Conscripts is a huge blowout here. A
Yeah.
Zealous Persecution. I keep saying Conscripts. Playing too much Cube. But yeah, I don't think it's good for Kelvin necessarily. But he's drawn a Snapcaster, so he's gonna Snap Thoughtseize and take.
Ooh, Engineer Explosive.
Oh yeah, I think you take the Lily anyway. The Lily accrues you, advantage over time. Zealous Persecution. Of all the arts you could choose, I think this one's kind of like persecutey.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all the same except for this one.
Yeah.
This one?
So I think he takes the Lily here, right? Yeah, he's just leaving him a reactive card in his hand.
Wow, so
So he's gonna play this for 2?
looks like he is.
Oh, he's drawn a Snapcaster for his turn. Wow, this
Oh.
guy. Yeah.
Ponder.
Still cold to a Zealous Persecution, by the way. I just want to point this out for everybody watching.
So Zealous Persecution here just blows
Um,
out. It kills the Snapcasters and the True Nemesis.
Yeah, still cold to a Toxic Deluge. And the Deluge would be the
Oh,
the
he's-
cleanest 3-for-1 in
He's
the.
doing it, he's doing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know, he's thinking. Yeah.
He's channeling his mind power to the card that he wants.
Yeah, he's been living in the heart of the cards.
Definitely draw.
Yeah, this is a game that is eventually going to slip away unless someone. Like, Jace isn't even too good a draw here, right? Because he plays Jace, True Name hits it for 3, then True Name hits it for 3 again.
Man.
Yeah, I love the mismatched Snapcasters
You
in
do.
the It makes sense though. If your opponent surgicals you and then you're like, he might miss the Snapcaster.
Wait, is that legit? Is that legit? Like,
I don't know.
strategy?
I'm just talking.
No,
Ta-
that sounds, no,
I'm
that-
just talking here.
No, that sounds legit though.
And like, there's no one else is talking, so I figured I'd fill it with like,
No, but that sounds like a legit plan.
Yeah,
I
right?
like that.
yeah, it's kind of like the predict, like playing different snow-covered planes and regular planes in your D&T deck.
Anyways,
So it's two cards going back to Brainstorm. This
Right.
time we can verify that.
oh, he drew swords.
Yeah, so Swords is okay. Swords is good,
Swords is
but
nice.
it's not like amazing.
He gains like 4 life, I guess.
Yeah, it's passing the turn. Doesn't matter who breaks serve first.
Who draws like the zealous persecution?
Yeah, some way to sweep his opponent's board. Cracking this fetch is bad news for Kelvin though, because why else would my opponent need access to 4 mana if it wasn't for
Jace.
Jace the Mind Sculptor? And this is it, 4 mana. Yeah, must be nice. Draw perfect every turn. His opponent has drawn very well.
Yeah, he has.
And this is the problem I think sometimes when you play a discard, like you just feel bad when your opponent top decks. Because you know.
You thought sees you're like
Yeah.
So I've covered my field. He does not have any cards in his hand. Then his next draw is just like a card that
Yeah, then you're like, this is why I sometimes don't play this game anymore. I see you're a powerful magician too.
powerful magician.
Yeah, Kelvin feels just like how everyone feels against the Jace the Mind Sculptor. How do I win? Have I lost and I just haven't realized it yet? Do I just concede? Try and get lunch?
Life's so hard.
Life is hard, man.
Bitter
Okay,
Blossom.
Bitter Blossom is a way to go around.
That is not
Around. It's not too bad. But the problem with Bitter Blossom at 13 life with the True Name in play is that you're at 13 life and your opponent you're gonna take 4-point chunks a turn, right?
Wait, I think I would have attacked the Battle Skull here, right?
No, he just blocks it with the True Name, dude. He doesn't gain life either.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So Storm with the Jace, you've already lost, just don't know it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Fluster Storm is bad at this point, right? Because your opponent has way too much
Right.
mana. He's gonna be able to deploy a second True Name Nemesis though.
Actually, maybe you could
There's
win
an
by-
argument for keeping the Fluster Storm for this turn so you can play your second True Name and have backup for a counter spell
Right.
if you're worried about that.
Also
But Steven don't give no.
yeah.
Beep. Right?
Oh no.
This is explosives for 2. Okay. This is a way back into the game for around a Bitter Blossom, but also a way back into the game for Kelvin because if he can draw. Oh yeah, Steven doing the I'm gonna make things less complicated and clear the board. But if Kelvin has Diabolic Edict, this could be bad news
Okay,
for
your
our
position
friend.
is not bad, but I think you'd rather play the
Yeah, he Strix into something.
Okay, Strix into something. Okay, Strix.
He drew Edict. Oh, holy shit! Oh my god! Oh! I think I pooped a little. Oh my! Off of that Strix. Oh wow!
Oh my god!
So sick.
But
So
so
sick.
ahead in card advantage.
Yeah, but I mean, a game that he couldn't lose. Now there's a chance that he's gonna lose.
But he has Edict in his hand too.
But it doesn't matter. His one doesn't have a bill. It doesn't have a. Okay. So we know that he has Disenchant in his hand. So
Right.
if he draws Snapcaster Mage, he can go
Like
Disenchant your guy, Snapcaster Edict. Right?
That's Jace.
He draws a Jace. Oh
That's
wow.
That's not bad. I like that.
Oh, Jace is good.
That's good.
This is a good start.
Brainstorm.
He's gonna
Oh,
Fate Seal himself.
Face Seal. Okay.
Yeah. So to ensure that his
His Jace. lives.
Jace survives,
Yeah.
he can spend 2 turns Fate Sealing if he disenchants the Strix or tricks the Strix away.
And now the clock is.
And now the clock's relevant, so
Yeah.
we need to have someone on hand to do that. I'm gonna pass the mic over to Mick actually, so I'll go.
Alright. And now, now it's time. Last 5 turns. This is Steven turn 0. So, yeah, this is quite unfortunate that Steven couldn't win the game in time, even though he has such like an overwhelming advantage.
This has been a match. This
Yeah.
has been
This is a game.
Quite a bit again.
A
All
game.
right.
This is
Okay.
a game. This is a game that we have right now.
So yeah, I'm not sure this game ends like soon.
This game probably won't end.
Yeah, I think it's Steven's turn, right? And he's the active player, so I think he edicts here. Or
Stoneforge.
okay, people get too cute when it comes to extra turns. I think what you need to do is to kill your opponent's creatures and beat them. Just smack them, because there's okay. If you play the game the way it should have played out, neither of you is going to get a favorable result. So you need to change. You need to change the way this game goes, right? So I think he bounces with a Jace. He plays a second true name and he just goes to town,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I think so too.
You just start smacking his opponent already,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's no way he's gonna win a drawn out game,
Oh,
right?
okay. So he's got good attack. The face, right?
I mean,
Yeah. He could
Yeah.
Go face.
he's going for him. Yeah, I
let's
like
go,
this.
let's
I
go,
like this
let's
from
go.
Steven. He's like, okay, I'm not gonna win this game in the kind of drawn out, like grindy ass fashion that we're used to. So
Let's play magic.
yeah, let's play. let's
Buster
start
Storm.
swiping my cards and throwing them at your face.
Oh. That's one way to say it.
Yeah. He's got a Battle Scout in his hand
Thought sees.
and a Thought Seize.
That's okay, I guess.
But if he Thought Seizes, he's
He's gonna make the clock a bit faster.
yeah, he's almost dead. Thought Seize puts him to 9, and his opponent has 8 on the table.
Brainstorm.
He's gonna brainstorm, looking for a sweeper to kind of drag this game out.
Like-
He still has a fetch. He's gonna push that Thought Seize.
Yeah.
He's gonna push that Thought Seize and hope to look for. I think he has a sweeper. If he doesn't have a sweeper, then it will be really, really tough for him to come back into this game.
He probably does, since he's like trying so hard to draw cards into it, right?
Yeah. I mean, he can still get back into this game if he has he has a way to clear that Strix and then give Battle Scout equip onto his own Strix. But that is really, really bad against his opponent's Jace. So he needs to get to a lot of mana. Yeah. So I think Kelvin kind of regretting that decision to bounce the Battle Scout back to his hand. Right, if this Battle Scout was in play, there are lines of play this turn that could have been
Yeah,
really,
he could
really
have, like-
beneficial to him, right? He could have bounced the Strix with his Jace, and then equip the Battle Scout
And
to
go.
the Strix and kill his opponent's Jace, and play for time,
Right.
or go straight to his opponent's. But yeah, it would be you have to kill the Jace first, if that's your plan.
For sure.
Yeah.
The Tundra?
So no
Yeah.
no sweepers in his deck. Active player was Steven when time was called.
Yeah, so this is
So this is
Kelvin
turn one.
Yeah, this is turn
Yeah,
one.
so Kelvin has 3 bites at the apple.
Brainstorm? Oh, Ponder first. Okay.
So ponder. I don't know if I like the sequencing. Since you have 2 more turns, I think it's favorable to brainstorm and then ponder after that.
Okay. That sounds legit.
Yeah, because if you don't hit a shuffle effect, then you're kind of boned, right?
Yeah.
Oh, in this case, you're kind of scald.
Skull.
Oh, he has a fetch. So he can fetch next turn.
Okay.
So he drew Lily the Last Hope. Lily Last Hope. Is that Lily Last Hope?
Yeah, that's
Is
the
it?
last hope. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm not sure if it does.
It's not bad.
It kills the Strix, I guess.
Yeah, it kills the Strix.
Yeah, now. Yeah, this game's looking a bit hard for either player to win, but it's going to play the Battle Skull and pass the turn. Steven is now on turn 2. And he's going to brainstorm. He's probably going to look for an answer to the Battle Skull so he can win on the next turn. So he's going to swing in with the True Nemesis, bring him down to
Yeah, I really don't like
four.
the brainstorm this turn.
You don't?
Yeah. I think if you bounce the Jace, you bounce the Strix and then you edict him, there's no way you lose this game,
Right.
right? In fact, you probably win this game. But because of this, like he's... Right? Like, what's going on here?
Why is he... Well, no, he casted he's brainstormed off Jace.
This is fair magic, Glenn. Very fair. Too fair, in fact. So fair that they played all 50 minutes of this round with me needing to pee.
He's going to brainstorm again.
But yeah, that I think this round was worth it just for us to see Willful Strix into Diabolic Edict after your opponent blew up all his creatures with explosives for 0.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. I like that.
Yeah, that was fun.
That
That was
was-
great. Yeah, I need to check if I if any stains on the inside of
This
my
is
clothes.
inside.
Yeah.
This feels a bit too fair, man. I'm
Yeah, I'm so curious as to what Steven's plan is here. I think you can.
take down Jace. Okay.
Oh wait, didn't he use Jace already? Oh, he played the brainstorm.
Yeah, he did Brainstorm.
Oh, he played
Yeah,
a card
yeah.
brainstorm.
Right. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
So JT onto the.
This is a strange choice of.
I think it's fine.
No, I think Kelvin can't. Oh yeah. I don't think Kelvin can win.
Block the Stoneforge
Yeah.
mistake.
Because he fetched, he's on 10, 7. What? If Kelvin has Deluge, he needs to keep himself above 1, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So he can't just let us all go through. He shouldn't let it all go through anyway because the bird's going to die the GTA counters.
Yeah. Does Kelvin have removal? No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
So what does he do on his next turn? He bounces.
I think it's a binary situation.
Yeah.
Either he...
I think he draws the bot white or he doesn't.
Yeah. He can draw Edict into Snapcaster Edict into Edict into Snapcaster Edict. He has a lot of looks this turn with Jace.
Yeah, he can brainstorm.
But he wants to keep Jace as the last possible choice.
Does he have a fetch?
Can he
Can he
stall
fetch?
this game out? Yeah.
I don't think so.
This is turn 3.
This
So
is the
this next turn is gonna be Steven's last active turn.
right. Yeah, I'm not sure if Kelvin.
So he hasn't laid a land.
Yeah, but Kelvin can't. He can only brainstorm effectively once though, because he like.
He has
doesn't
a
have-
brainstorm in his hand.
I mean, he doesn't have a fetch to make it like better.
That's true. But it doesn't matter if those are the last cards you'll draw this entire game, right? When he
Yeah.
dies next turn.
That's true.
So he's gonna storm with Jace. That's the first part. The easy part. I don't think it's actually easy even. Like this is gonna if he doesn't find it here, he knocks him off. I guess he still has mana for Snapcaster Edict, right?
Yeah.
But he no longer has a way to get rid of the Strix that's in play.
And
So he has Strix to answer his opponents, and that doesn't matter.
yeah, he has the True Nemesis.
His own True Nemesis?
No, I mean Steve has.
Yeah. He's gonna die to. He needs to find a sweeper. So Kelvin is probably thinking about how the best to sequence this entire turn so that he has most looks at a sweeper. Nope.
No,
I don't think he has a
just-
sweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
And
that
the
was-
game goes to Steven. Yeah, this was a long round. I really need to pee. But catch us in like 10 minutes and we will be back with more Legacy from our Eternal Sunday. It's a monthly tournament we run at Grey Yoga Games. And yeah, we give out a dual land almost every Sunday. And this, in particular, this weekend, we gave away an extra plateau, an extra taiga for our Chinese New Year celebration. We
Okay.
red duels, red cards, red packets. Thank you. So we'll see you in a bit.
See ya.